When you work with large lists, as you start to scroll down the list, now you might be using the scroll bar on the right-hand side, or maybe you're using the mouse wheel or trackpad. I'm using a mouse wheel here. What happens? Row 1 disappears. And that's where the titles are. Now, maybe I don't know this data too well. You can figure out what some of the titles would be, but why not keep that row in place all the time? By way of a feature called freeze. Freeze panes. And it's found on the View tab in the ribbon. Freeze panes. Freeze a portion of the sheet to keep it visible while you scroll through the rest of the sheet. It's got 3 options. Many times we want to freeze the top row. Now when you apply this feature, just make sure it's visible. The active cell doesn't have to be there. Freeze top row. Subtle difference, separator between row 1 and 2 is a little darker, but as we start to, in my case, use the mouse wheel to scroll down, we see what's happening. It's there all the time. This has nothing to do with printing. You can leave it here all the time if you wish, or take it off anytime, reapply it. It has nothing to do with content. Let's say we remove it. Freeze panes, unfreeze panes. Now, what if we had many, many columns here? We move left and right. We're losing track of which person's data we're seeing here. We might want to see column A, the leftmost column. So as long as it's visible, and the active cell could be anywhere, we could, instead of freezing the top row, go to Freeze Panes, freeze the first column. Scrolling left and right, I'll use the scroll bar in the lower right-hand corner. Scrolling to the right, we're always seeing column A. And you might be imagining, could we see both? Could we always see row 1 and see column A? Yes, we can. For the moment, we've got column A frozen. Let's go back to Freeze Panes and unfreeze them. Now, as we go back to the button before making a selection here, the first option, Freeze Panes, says keep rows and columns visible while the rest of the worksheet scrolls based on current selection. That doesn't quite tell you what to do, but here's how it works. If we apply that feature, in other words, if the active cell is here or there or wherever, Excel will freeze every row above the active cell and to the left of it. So if we need to see just column A and row 1, we click in cell B2. If we wanted to see both columns A and B and row 1, we'll click in cell C2. So the freeze will occur above and to the left of the active cell. We're at cell B2, freeze panes, we can scroll up and down, we'll always see row 1, and we can scroll left and right, we'll always see column A. And once again, this has no impact on printing or anything else. It doesn't change any data whatsoever. All these commands too, by the way, fall into the category of commands that you cannot get to by way of the undo redo capability. And we don't really need that capability anyway. If we don't want the feature anymore, we'll simply unfreeze and at a later time apply it again. It's a relatively easy feature to use, and it gives us the ability to easily move up and down or move left-right within a worksheet and see those vital headings.